I'm about to do my first pitch, and I'm just like crying because I'm so proud of myself, how far I've come, and I'm actually doing stuff like this right now. Like, fuck yeah, man. I am a little bit nervous now because now my eyes are red because I'm fucking crying, but I fucking got this, man. Let's fucking go. So I just finished pitching myself to Beer Papa's, and here's what happened. I go into the whole restaurant, or yeah, I guess the whole restaurant place, and I asked if there was an owner or a manager available, and there was no owner or manager available, and it made me a little bit bummed. But I was able to still talk to whoever was still there and leave them what I had, which was my business card and a little brochure about my packages. And so when I left it with them, I was explaining to them what I was doing, what my services are. And this was like, honestly, the best time to practice. When I didn't really have everything like set in stone. I had like a clear idea of what I wanted to say, but it wasn't like, I didn't want to have like a clear structure and feel like a robot, like everything's scripted, you know? And so when I started talking to these people, I noticed that my voice was starting to shake a lot. I was not confident. Like I was confident in what I was saying, but like it just felt like my voice was shaking. Like I was just like nervous. You can tell I was nervous. And but I still stuck to it because like this is something I believe in. And I talked about it more and more, and they said they're gonna leave it with their owner, and I was like, okay, cool. And it was just a quick like transaction, and I was like, all right, I'm just gonna go do Uber Eats. And so I started walking back to my car, and I noticed that there was a food truck right next to the iPic movie theater named Beirut, Lebanese food truck. And so I decided might as well just go to the car and pick up another business card and a brochure, because I had another brochure handy. I have multiple business cards, but I only brought 2 brochures with me. And so I decided to go back to the car, get the business card and the brochure, and go back to the food truck and pitch myself over there. I don't know, I was just like in the zone. I was feeling it for some reason. Like I just felt like doing it. And once I got up there, I started to I was at the window and I was deciding what to do. Like I was just waiting, and somebody came up to me, a young customer, young dude, and he was like, how can I help you? And I was like, is there an owner or a manager available? And then he just paused for a second. He said, no one's available. And then there was like a little kid out there too in the food truck, and he's like, my dad's over there. And he points to his dad, and their dad is the owner of the food truck. And it turns out their dad was like, when I was walking up to the food truck, there was a car that drove up and parked right next to the food truck, and a guy came out and started talking to some people that were just sitting out and eating some food. I didn't think much of it. I was ready. I was just ready to pitch myself. And so I tried to do that, and it seemed like the business owner for the Beirut food truck was a little hesitant at first. I can see that he's probably been pitched to a lot before. I can just tell in his body language, it's just like dropped a little bit. And then I noticed that like where my proposition like stands out is like, I'm not selling to him and like being like a manager for him. I'm actually someone that's like giving him the tools, giving him the knowledge, empowering him to do it for himself. And so that's where I stand out. And so when I started to speak a little bit more about that, I started to see that he was a little bit more receptive about my services. And so he took my business card and my brochure, and I was feeling really good about myself. And when I was talking to him about all that stuff, I noticed that my voice wasn't being as shaky. I wasn't really being nervous. I started to like think a little bit more and being more confident in myself. And then after that, when I was done, I went all the way, when I started to walk back to my car, and the guy, Charlie from the food truck, the owner, he yelled back at me, and he was like, hey, my friend wants to talk to you. And it turns out his friends were some of the people. Oh, I am so sorry, guys. Y'all got to see that. I need to drink water. But his friend was sitting there at the table, and what do you call it? Went over to the friend. His friend wanted my services. He wanted me to speak to him, and so I go up to speaking to his friend, and they do towing service. And his name it's Abdullah or Apollo, and they do towing service. And when they were talking to me, they're like, "Can you help me out?" And I was like, "Yes." And quickly, like, I just started to think, what could I do to help them out throughout the space. Like, and I started thinking, I was like, booyah. All right, they need to have repetition. They need to have like a little like jingle or slogan going on social media, and they just have to keep pumping that every day, and like having the business, like having people like kind of just like remember that like they're there if they need help. It's like when you see those billboards with like a bunch of floors and stuff just like on the billboard, it's just easy to remember. So they just need something like that for other people that's easy to remember. And then I also just realized that when I think of tow trucks, I think of like a dangerous, like buff dude, like Operation Repo, like I'm kind of scared type feel. And so like I started thinking like they're probably not like that. Like these people seem really nice, and so they can market themselves as like a safe space, like cultivate a safe space, because that's something that I really specialize in, is like cultivating safe space for your community. Like that's something that I really strive to have, because when you have a safe space, it just makes everything so much better. Everybody can share their experiences, and when everybody's sharing their experiences, like it's just so great for your brand. You get people talking and everybody's just growing together. But I started talking to him about that, and like he needs like repetition, keep that going. He needs a brand identity going on. Like he just, we need to get his ducks in a row. And it seemed like they were being very receptive, and his wife even mentioned about having a target audience. Like their target audience is not always going to be like on Instagram or TikTok, and I realized that. And so like I had to do a little bit more like research into seeing where their target audience could be. But there's so many different like avenues and ways that we can hit this. And they were like really receptive to what I had to say, and they want to meet with me to get some Starbucks and talk a little bit more about my services, which is really cool, and I'm very excited for that. And then also they gave me a falafel at the very end of the exchange. They said, here, have a falafel. So at the end of the day, I think I won. Like it was a celebration. I made some friends, I made some connections. I really saw myself grow from the first exchange. When I was talking at Beard Papa's, I was a little bit nervous. To the very end, I was like really into myself. I saw the transformation throughout that little process about me just putting myself out there. Like I really saw how passionate I am, how confident I am, and like it really just shows to me that like you just got to believe in yourself. Like if you don't believe in yourself, no one's going to believe in your product. If I didn't believe in what I'm doing, then when I was talking to these people, they wouldn't be receptive of what I had to say. Like if I didn't believe in myself, I would have stopped right after Beard Papa's. I might even not have went to Beard Papa's if I didn't believe in myself. Does that make sense? I believed in myself so much that I got rejected from Beard Papa's. I went to another food truck right after, even though I kind of got like rejected. It's not like rejected, but it's like up in the air. I didn't get a clear answer, you know? And so like I went to a food truck and shot my shot there, and it's still like there, but like I just kept putting myself out there because I believed in myself. And you got to believe in yourself if you're doing any like business ventures like this. Like I guess it's just a testament of just believing in yourself. So go out there and believe yourself. Believe in yourself. Yes, I'm doing Uber Eats right now, but I cannot wait till wherever my life goes, because I'm so excited, man. I'm so grateful just to see how much I've grown from there to here. And like, if life's crazy for you, man, or lady, whatever you're going through, human, you got this. It's happening for a reason. Look into it, analyze it a little bit. It's okay. You're going to be okay. Hug yourself. Show yourself some compassion. Love you.